This week we're going to create a Flappy game. So let's take a look at the original game here. You have a dragon here and you click and you have to make him click to go up, and then if he hits the obstacle, the game's over. So let's take a look at how to do it in Scratch. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to delete the cat here, and you're going to pick what you want to be the dragon here. So you could pick one of these people, you could click a bear, however you want to do it, maybe a bat, whatever you want to do. I'll use a diver. Let's see. Okay, I'll use diver here. Okay, you don't have to do this exactly like me. You could do it how you want to do it. And I'm gonna put maybe I'll make him 50. Make him okay, maybe around 50. Yeah, he's a little bit smaller. Now what you got to do is you got to have to make the pipes like this, or like an obstacle, whatever that is. So let's take a look how to do that. I'm gonna go over here and I click draw because we're gonna draw it in. Okay, let's see how to do this. Maybe you can make like this. Maybe you want to make it a little thinner, and then you're gonna do another one. Maybe like this. Now here's where you got to think about how tough you want to make the game. You could make it really, like they're very close together. That may be too hard. If you want to make it easier, you could compress this a little bit, and now he's got more space. So it's up to you how you want to do it. It's it's your game. It's your design. You can click on here and you could make it easier or harder based on you can make this guy smaller to make it easier, or you can make this have more space. It's up to you. Okay, so now we have our two. Sprite 1 is going to be the obstacle, and then the diver is going to be like the he's going to be like the Flappy guy. Okay, so let's take a look at a few of the things here. First thing we're going to do, we're going to click on the obstacle here. So we'll work on the obstacle first, and we have to create this effect of the obstacle going across the screen. So we're going to do events when the flag's clicked, and forever. We want to do this forever. We're going to do create a clone. Okay, so we're going to do down here, create a clone of myself, and we're going to wait 3 seconds. Wait 3 seconds. Okay, wait 3 seconds. So what that's going to do is we're going to create copies of this. We're going to keep, because it's just the same thing over and over again. We're going to create copies of this over and over again. And then we're going to use this event when I start as a clone. Okay, when I start as a clone, looks, we're going to show it. Where's show? So basically what we're doing is we're just going to make this when you start, and then we're going to clone it, meaning we're going to copy it. So what do you want to do after you copy it? We're going to show it, and then we want it to glide across the screen. So we're going to say go to, and we want to go to X. Maybe we want to go to around here, 250, 240, whatever you want to do. You could put this, maybe 250, okay? And then how do you want it to be with the Y? Do you want this to be high? Do you want it to be low? Well, you don't want this to be consistent because that's too easy, right? So I don't want to make the Y the same every time. Sometimes I want to make this high. Sometimes I want to make it low. So if I made this Y, negative 27, then it just keeps, it's going to be too consistent. Sometimes I want Y to be high. Sometimes I want Y to be low. So we have to pick random, okay? So we're going to say, go to operations, and I'm going to say pick random, okay? Because I want to make it that it's a challenge, that you don't know when it's going to be high or low, okay? So we want it to be consistent, that it goes this way, that it starts here, I should say. But sometimes we want it high, and then sometimes we want it low. So we'll make this, let's make this maybe negative 120. And make this maybe 120 this way. It's up to you. You put a negative and a positive. You could change the numbers if you want. And what do you want to do? When you start as a clone, you want it to go over here, and then it's going to start over here on this side. That's our X number. And then you're going to pick whether it's high or low. So the computer's randomly going to do that. And what are we going to do? We're going to repeat until. Repeat until. We're going to keep doing this until the X position. So we're going to go to motion. We're going to go to the X position until the X position, and I'm going to need operations, is greater than, position is greater than negative 240. So this means, here's what this means. It means you're going to copy this thing and you're going to start over here. Okay, you're going to start all the way to the right. That's our x250. And then the y is going to be random. So it's either going to be high or low. And then we're going to have it go forward until what? Until it gets all the way down here. Okay, so until the x, you see this is x negative 102, we're saying what we want you to do is we want you to move until it gets all the way over to here. And then you're going to clone yourself again. So what should we do? We want to change x by -5. Change x by -5. Now you could make this negative, 10 or negative 10 would make it go faster, but we'll do -5. So basically what this is saying is what you're going to do is you're going to start with this all the way over here. Okay, start with this all the way over here. And it's either going to be high or low. That's this part here. So just go to x250 means go all the way over here. And then it's going to be random spot either up or down. And then it's going to keep going like this. It keeps going till this until, see, it's changed by -5. Change by -5 makes it go like this. And then until its x position is less than -240. That means when this is all the way over here, stop this thing. And then we're going to put another one. Then we're going to create another clone over here. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So you see that we got this going here, and you see it randomly, right? It's randomly going to pick a different position. Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. Okay, so we got this going over there. And the last thing we have to do is you see that these things are piling up over here. They were all piling up. So we don't want them piling up over there. So we're going to go to delete this clone. Okay? So delete this clone, that prevents it from piling up. You see they were all piling up over there, the clones were. Okay, so what was happening is they were piling up over here. So to prevent them from piling up over here, I just made this -180 and then delete this clone. So if you don't want them to pile up at the end here, you can make it -180 here and then delete this clone. So now we have this effect here. And the next thing we want to do is we want to add in a scoreboard. And we want to do a scoreboard. Now we know how to do this. We go to when clicked, and we're going to say a variable, and we're going to make a variable. We'll call it score. So we make a variable, call it score. When you start the game, you set your score to 0. Set score to 0, and then you're going to do forever, control forever. And what do we want to do? We want to wait 0.1 seconds, and after we wait 0.1 seconds, we're going to go to variables, and we're going to say change the score by 0.1. So now this is going to be period 1, 0.1. So this is going to be our scoreboard. In other words, the way the game works is the longer you stay alive in the game, the more your score is, and then you try to beat your score. So let's take a look now. We have our action like this, and you can make a background too if you want. It's up to you. You can make it like an underwater. Let's see if there's something underwater we could do. Okay, I could do like this underwater here. Now he's underwater, and we have a background. And let's look at the diver here. Okay, so here's the diver. He's gonna need gravity because we can't have him, just going up. He's got to go up and down, up and down. So we got to make gravity. When clicked, variable, make a variable, call it gravity. Okay, and then you're going to do set gravity to 0. Okay, and if you don't want gravity over here on the score, you can uncheck it off over there so it doesn't appear. And motion, he's going to go to. Where do you want him to go to? I want him to start the game over here maybe. -197. It say -197 and then 6. And you could do whatever you like for that one. It's up to you. You could put your own things in there, but that's where I'll start him. And then forever, we got to get him to move. Forever, change Y. Now Y is up and down. Okay, so we're going to say we're going to change Y by what? Change Y by gravity. I go to variables. And I go to gravity, and I put it right in there. So forever, change Y by gravity. And then I'm going to say change gravity by -1. By -1. Okay, so this is up and down. So he's going to change his Y by gravity, and gravity is going to constantly changing by -1. Now we're going to say if he's touching. So if what? If sensing touching this obstacle. If he's touching what? He's touching the obstacle, and the obstacle is called sprite 1. How do I know it's called sprite 1? I click on it, it says sprite 1. Now you could change this if you want to. You could change the name of it. You could say, obstacle if you want. Okay, so if you change it to obstacle, then over here, it's going to say if touching obstacle. But you don't have to do that. Just whatever the name it is over here. So if it's touching the obstacle, what do you want to do? Well, there's a few things you could do. You could have a sound, say, like a pop sound. And then you could have it say, you lose. Maybe say you lose. Maybe I'll make that for 1 second. And then, I'll do a control. And I'll say stop all. Maybe instead of you lose for 1 second, I'll have it say permanently. I'll just say you lose. I'll say you lose. And then I'm going to stop all. So now what this says is that when we play the game, if the guy touches the thing, if he touches the obstacle, it stops the score and it says you lose. Now it didn't say you lose because it did stop all right away, but that's okay. You don't have to do it. You could put a weight in if you really want to. If you really wanted to say you lose, you could put the weight in there as well. You don't have to, but that will end the game here. It says you lose and then it stops the game. Okay, so you may need a weight in there. So that now we got that part of the game. We have a game that we have an obstacle. We have a game when it ends. We have our score. The last thing we need to do is we need him going up and down. Okay, so this is a part where you can do your own, if you want to have a different key than me, but you want to do one clicked forever, and you want to say if then. So control it forever, if then, and sensing, and which key should be pressed. Well, I'll use the space key, but, you could use a different key if you would like. You could say, one of these other ones, but I'll use the space key. What are you going to do if the space key is clicked? You go to variables, set gravity to 0, and you're going to wait until, and then you're going to say control, wait until, and then you're going to go operations, not pressed. So what do you want to do? Wait until the space key. So sensing, we're going to go to key, space key, not pressed. Okay, so that one's a little tricky. I'll show you again. You have a wait until, and then you have not. Wait until space, and then this is space key. Okay, so this green is operations. Okay, so I got that from operations. I got that here. Not from operations, and then I got sensing, key press. So what are you going to do when the key is not pressed? Okay, and one thing I forgot to do, this has got to be set gravity to 10. Okay, so set gravity to 10 here. That's got to be 10. I forgot to do that. So now let's take a look how the game goes. When you click your flag, he goes up. Oh, you lose. The game stops. Now let's see if I could do it. Keep it up. Oh, you lose. Let's see if I could do it again. Now, if it's too hard, what you could do is you could make him like 40. Let's see if I can do it if it's 40. Oh, you lose. So then what you do is you try to get as high of a score as you can. And like I said, to make the game easier or harder, you could change the distance of the obstacle, and you also could change the size of the guy. So if you want to make it easier, you go over here and you go to costumes, and you can make this, a little bit tighter or a little bit wider. It's up to you how you want to do it. So that's the Flappy game, and you could add sound to it, however you like to do it. It's your game, but that's the basics of how to play this game.